a candidate who's refused to release his tax forms. What do you think about that?
Irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. I mean, I know for my taxes, when it's tax time, there's a big living room table that I have, and there's big stacks all around the table, and I just look at the signature pages, and it takes me 45 minutes still to sign all that stuff. And so I couldn't actually I went and looked, but in any previous years to this last one, I couldn't have told you how much I've made or what was on my taxes. And it's certainly not a reflection of net worth. And I don't think it's a reflection of how much anybody gives to charity or anything. And, any one given year may be up or down. So I don't care. I don't care if they release their taxes.
So why do you think he's not doing it then?
I have no idea. My guess is that it may have been a down year for him. And, look, depending on what your sources of income are, you may say, I've made a fortune in the market, but I'm not going to take my profits. And he might have had a negative income. And that certainly wouldn't match up to his brand. So it doesn't matter.
And yet you had some comments recently suggesting that he's actually gotten dumber as time has gone on.
Yeah, and that's pretty straightforward, right? So if you look at how he's managed his campaign, he went from maybe I'll be the nominee to, okay, I'm pretty much the presumptive nominee, even before the others fell out of the race. If he was smart, he would have started to learn that, okay, in a campaign, there's certain, in a national campaign, there's certain things I'm going to have to do. There's certain skill sets I'm going to need to make me smarter about running a national campaign. So did he go out and hire people who can create a ground game? No. Did he go out and hire people that could help him with, on an advisory basis, to help with the whole political machine that's required to get the vote out? He tried, and all those people just keep on getting fired and turning over. And so rather than getting smarter and bringing in the help that it's needed to run a campaign, he's doing the exact opposite. And where we've gotten to is him pretty much being dependent on his kids. And it's not like, they're good kids, they're smart kids, I've met them, they're impressive in every which way. But I don't know that I'd want them all of a sudden just coming in to run a campaign. This isn't Shark Tank, right, where it's like, okay, you can help with this company. We're talking about running a campaign for the President of the United States. And, so getting stupider means not being able to hire the skill sets that you need to make you smart. And so I think he's gotten worse, and we're seeing it happen right before our very eyes.
I had dinner with some tech CEOs recently, people but it was off the record dinner, but I will tell you that when we were going around the table talking about politics and talking about vice presidential choices for Hillary, one of these CEOs said you.
Good.
Seriously.
Good.
So?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to happen, but you always you never know until you take the first step and you put it out there. Anything's possible. But I think tech illiteracy at the top for both candidates is a huge problem. We talked about how do you deal with immigration? How do you deal with radical Islamic terrorists trying to come into the country from wherever, right? There's no way just physically you can just interview everybody. You're going to need to use tech, whether it's Converse, whether it's facial recognition. There's a variety of other options. Tech is going to get us there. Somebody's got to at least start to understand those things and how they apply to all the big issues. We're also, you talk about dealing with the future. Autonomous cars, robotics, AI, machine learning. Jobs are going to disappear. There's going to be jobs that are gone, just like, making records in Terre Haute, Indiana were gone. Making cameras from Kodak in New York were gone. Coal in Western Kentucky, they're gone. Those jobs are gone. The question is, what are you going to do in anticipation of the fact that we may not have replacements? If you don't anticipate, if you don't understand the issues, you can't come up with solutions. And I think that's a relevant problem that no one has the absolute answer, but at least I can help them start to understand that and start to come up with solutions.